Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please click like and subscribe and consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And remember, no matter how good it is or how much it costs, it's just whiskey, folks. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally, I do not review samples. However, these 4 samples of the Kaiyo Japanese Mizunara matured whiskeys were given to me as a gift a while back, and I knew at some point I was going to review them because why not? But I'm not going to rate them because they are just small pour samples. So what makes Kaiyo Japanese whiskey a little bit different is that they are matured, all of them. Well, they're all matured in Mizunara casks, and they are all matured at sea for approximately 3 months. So the casks are on ships, put out to sea, so they can supposedly, rumble and tumble and absorb a little bit of that maritime spirit. And my understanding is because even though it is 100% distilled and matured in Japan, but because 3 months of that is on a ship on the ocean, they might not be able to technically classify it as a Japanese whiskey. So they call it Kaiyo whiskey. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they label it as Japanese Mizunara Oak. And Kaiyo means, in Japanese, translates to ocean. So that's pretty cool. And they are all made from 100% malted barley. And the very last one we're going to be sampling is they call it the peated. And the peat that's used in this one is 100% peated Islay barley. 100% Islay peat. As you can see, I did take some notes because I want to keep everything straight. All right, so now that we get that out of the way, one thing that they all have in common, or a few things they have in common, is they all are matured in Mizunara Oak. So on the nose and on the palate, you get that pencil shaving cedar note, which is the Mizunara Oak. But that's what it reminds me of. And the second thing that they all have in common, they're all very clean and crisp and bright. And yet delicate at the same time. So the first one is Kaiyo whiskey. Okay, this one is 43% ABV. All of them are unchill filtered. It doesn't say anything about coloring on them, but to me it doesn't look like they have been colored. They are all, the 4 samples, they're all non-age statement with the exception of the second one, which is 7 years. And this first one, even though it's a non-age statement, my understanding is it's between 8 and 10 years old. So this first one, again at 43%. Now, I don't know if it's my imagination, But when I first smelt, especially these first couple of ones, it reminded me of sake. And again, that could just be a subliminal thing, you know, Japanese sake, but that's what it reminded me of, the sake alcohol. But this first one here, the prominent notes, again, besides the cedar, pencil shaving, Mizunara Oak, you get maple brown sugar. That's the prominent note that I pick up on their first one here, which I believe is their signature whiskey. Very nice. Medium finish with maple brown sugar and that sandalwood, cedar, Mizunara Oak. And this retails for approximately $70. Okay. The second one, which is the Kaiyo Whisky, aged 7 years old, and they call this the single, and unchill filtered, and this one comes in at 48%. Okay, on the nose again, sandalwood, cedar, pencil shaving, Mizunara Oak. But prominent notes: clove, black licorice, and anisey. This one has a little more wow factor on the palate, more so than the first sample. Maybe because of the extra 5% ABV. Again, prominent notes on the nose and palate: a clove, black licorice, anisey, with a nice, robust, but yet very inviting medium to long finish on this one. And this one retails for about $55, the single. Okay, moving on to the third sample. This is the Cask strength, and this one comes in at 53% ABV. And to me, it seems like it's the big brother to the first sample. Seems like this is their signature, and then this is the Cask strength version of it. In my opinion, that's what it seems like to me. So basically, the same notes on the first one, the maple, brown sugar, but also picking up some candied fruits, a little bit of melon, very nice. The same flavors that I described are coming through in the palate as well. The melon, the candied fruits. A little more of a bite on the tip of the tongue, as to be expected, since it is Cask strength. A little bit of maple, brown sugar on that one as well. And this one, the Cask strength, retails for about $120. Okay, Now I save the peated one for last. Again, it's made with 100% Isla peat. They don't specify which distillery. And that comes in at 46% ABV. Very nice. Candied fruits, a light peat. The peat level on this one is 35 ppm, but it does not seem that way to me. It seems in the background. The peat is not prominent. Nor is it smoky at all either. If I had to loosely compare it to something, it might be something like the Compass Box Peat Monster, just to kind of give you an idea. The finish, I would say, is medium to long, probably because of the peat. A little bit of cigarette ashtray, very subtle, very enjoyable. All right, I'm not going to rate these, and I'd be hard pressed. Oh yeah, and so the price on the peated one is $110. Based on these samples, would I go out and buy a full bottle of any of these? And the answer is yes, 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 and yes. I really enjoy them all. To me, the one that stands out the most unique is the second one, which is the cheapest one at $55, aged 7 years. If you like clove, black licorice, anisey, then I think you would enjoy this. Hands down, I would buy a bottle of any one of these. If push came to shove and I had to eliminate one, I would probably eliminate the first one at 43 ABV, only because you get the same similar notes, but more in the cask strength version. And I really enjoyed the peat. Again, it's the peat's very subtle, very integrated, fruity. But again, I like them all. Again, this was unique if you like the licorice thing. And the peat one is very good as well. So what else can I say? With all the confusion in Japanese whiskey, which I'm not going to get into now, but I think anybody that follows the Japanese whiskey market knows that there's a lot of uncertainty as far as disclosure goes. But from the best of my knowledge and research, is that these are authentic Japanese whiskeys. And I would not hesitate to buy any of them. As a matter of fact, I just might. Really enjoyed them. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers. Please click like and subscribe and click that bell to be notified of my future videos. And remember, no matter how good it is or how much it costs, it's just whiskey, folks. So hats off to you all, and sayonara.